and welcome to Music Men in My Mental. I'm your host, C. Devone, and we're talking about all things in your career, relationships, and your overall health. So, I like to start with a little homework. And if you've been following me on social media or on the Music Men in My Mental Instagram page, my homework for this week, we spoke about this. I was talking behind the scenes with my fabulous guest today. And I was talking about really connecting with your family because as we are pumping this podcast out in its second season, it's the holidays just are here and shining, and we are in full court of the holiday season. So my homework is to reach out to family or friends and just see how you can help them with childcare. Isn't that? It's something that's so dope. Simple, but just say, hey, do you need to go holiday shopping? Right. Why don't I just have, let me hold your kids. Why don't I just watch your children or child for an hour or two? Yeah. Or take, I took my nieces for the weekend. And, I got all this, you're the Auntie of the Year award. But the reality was it hit me so differently because I felt really bad because I don't take them enough. Yeah. And also why this podcast exists is to, one, encourage people to live a healthier, balanced life. Mm-hmm. But my sister has severe bipolar and schizophrenia. Oh, wow. So she actually cannot take care of her small children. Right. So with that being said, my mother, who's in her 60s now, who raised 4 girls on her own. She
did her thing.
Right, she did it. And now she has 2 more other small children. So the toil that it takes on her, I just feel like, we could do more to help each other in our community and our family. Yeah. So that's your homework for this week. Make sure you help someone that you love with just maybe some childcare or it could be their puppy too. Right. Maybe they need someone to walk their damn puppy. Do an act of kindness for someone you love.
So anyway, shout out to your mom. I think that's so dope. Mothers are so amazing.
Mothers are amazing. I love my mom, but as a grandma, I'm like, dude, you are crushing it.
Like I just showed you the video of my niece, who, by the way, now that you say that, she's all the way in Texas. Mm-hmm. So like I can never get to her, every day, but I would always make trips to see her. But now she's doing things like wearing lipstick. I mean, she's 2. I mean, she's not like going to the club yet. But she like plays it, and I just showed you the video. I'm like, wait a minute, Mom. I didn't get to wear lipstick until I was a good 16. What's going on here? So moms as grandmas are on a whole nother level of they can have everything they want.
It's their guards down, and they just want to,
Yeah, they figured they didn't do that bad with us. So, which is true.
Did she die?
Yay, but did she die? We kind of popping though.
Okay, so let me just go and just straight up go and introducing yourself.
Yeah, you want me to introduce myself?
You know what? Because I don't know which Instagram I should call you. I don't know. I mean, this girl is just
I be doing too much. I be doing too much.
But you're crushing it. Yeah. And the fun fact and fun story is, do you remember how we met each other?
I do, on set. Yes, of course.
My first advertorial for Dark and Lovely. She's just this beautiful, bubbling personality. And I'm just like, I'm a DJ and I'm trying to make it. And this is 10 years ago, I think.
It was 10 years ago.
I'm like, they're putting me in this ad, and I'm just so excited to just be working with Dark and Lovely, getting my makeup done professionally. Yeah. And you just are like, just pouring all these beautiful words and speaking.
Yeah, when you walked in. When you walked in, I'm like, great, this makes my job easy. Like, she's already beautiful. Like, I don't have to do a lot of spackling. You know what? She showed up, and you were beautiful, and you were brilliant, and we kept in touch ever since, and your career has just taken off to a whole nother level. I mean, I've been to some parties and shook a tail feather or two. Yes, ma'am. You're responsible for that,
And now seeing you, I mean, this makeup artist who's doing all the celebrities, doing all the L'Oreal, everything, Fashion Week, and then just decided to just create this. Just go into it.
Shout out to Mazay, by the way. Shout out to Mazay.
I love him.
I do. So my name's Kenecia Lashae. I am the creator of Passport to Pretty, and Passport to Pretty was just the merge of my 2 passions, which was travel and beauty. I didn't know that I really loved travel as much because I kind of felt like when I was in New York, I need to stay here and get that paper up. Like, you get the call at 6 a.m. to be there at 9. You know how New York is when it's a hustle. And when you started out as a DJ, hey, you had to be there. So I was kind of like, I don't really want to leave, but I got an opportunity to work with a photographer out of Milan, Italy. And once I went on that trip, it changed my life. I was like, oh, I'm out of here. I'm everywhere. I'm trying to do everything. And then I created Passport to Pretty to kind of marry the two.
Have you traveled before that? Or
I actually, no, that was my first international trip. I had a passport for 2 years, but I never used it. Never used it. And it was just kind of there. And when I met him in New York at a shoot, he was really nice, and he was like, hey, you should come to Italy. And I was like, oh, really? Yeah, cool, kind of just a thought. And then he emailed, he followed up, and he made it happen. And so when I got to Milan, I worked for, Italians are amazing people. They don't work. They take a lot of time to just enjoy themselves with wine and cheese and tons of pizza. And so I worked a little. And I hung out a lot, and that just opened up my eyes. I mean, I met a group of like Black Americans. And then like one of my close friends was actually living there at the time. So I had this community very quickly, and it just opened my eyes to so much more. And so I was not afraid to leave New York. If I missed a job, it wasn't for me, So it prompted me to like get out there and try to go for it and travel and see more of the world. But of course, rent is high. So I kept going.
Damn high.
I kept going. And being an artist in any medium, I believe it opens your eyes to your other talents and gifts. I don't think that God gives us just one gift and like, here you go. Like Christmas, just that one lonely present under the tree. I think we get many. And so I've spent the last, a couple of years actually just kind of unwrapping everything and being, how can I be used in this space, and how can I excel and be an inspiration to other people? So that kind of prompted a lot of things, and I created the Compass Retreat, for example. And that's a retreat that's going to be annually for women of color to really just, I really say it's putting your armor down and like reconnecting. And a lot of us are cup fillers. When you're DJing, you turning the party up, you're giving everybody your energy.
Oh, after my gigs, I just want to go home.
I can only imagine. And
I'm
just
depleted.
Like starfish, like straight up. So it's really for the cup fillers to be filled, and about finding your shine amongst the stars. So I created that. And then when I was traveling, I participated in a lot of spiritual practices. So that kind of played a big role in why I wanted to create it, and for us to get back to being able to connect with the Most High. And then I created a body care line that so everything is new. And how I even got started with that was when I was in Morocco. I went to the Medina. Oh my gosh. Talk about colors and richness and spices and all those things. And I just felt so compelled to really create. And came up with Venus RX because, Venus is the planet that is the ruler of love and beauty. And I wanted women to reconnect with themselves and discover self-love. So all of these things are just kind of me unwrapping the gift. But how I got to even know that there were gifts available was when you talk about like mental health. I think that when I was working as a makeup artist, things were great. I was doing well. I was having a good time, but I really wasn't happy. And I didn't really even know that I wasn't happy. I started dating this dumbass guy.
Tell me how you feel, this dumbass, trick-ass guy.
Okay, wasting my time. But a lesson. It was very hurtful. You know what? He was a narcissist. I had never dated a narcissist. I think like your mom tells you not to date like the broke guy, or don't date the womanizer. Don't date the guy who is violent or abusive. But like the narcissist is like a sneaky, silent killer. Just kind of like creeps up, and we don't have a lot of information. I mean, we may have talked about it in like social studies, really quickly, but yeah, he was a narcissist. And that part of me writing a book is to kind of dish all of that. But just know
2 signs of a narcissist. Go. Give me
2 signs of a narcissist. It's called gaslighting. When they say, oh, the sky is orange, you're like, no, clearly it's blue. And they're like, no, it's orange. And then you're like,
that's my crazy ex.
But it's blue, Also love bombing. Love bombing was like the first and foremost, because obviously they got to get you. So it's showers of gifts and affections, and like you are the queen of the Nile, and
y'all listening? Are y'all getting these gems right here?
Which you know that you're an amazing woman, and you feel that, and maybe sometimes you don't get to hear it, and so when you hear it, it's like, oh well. Really? And then you're getting the Tom Ford, and then you're getting the Bond number 9 in the mail, and you're getting these gifts on top of gifts, and and it's flights, and it's all of this and all of that. And then you can't really, pick up on that because it's like, oh, well, that's a good thing. You tell your friends, well, he buying me gifts. They're gonna be like, what's wrong with you, girl? You crazy?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are like 2 quick things that you can kind of detect first things first.
But when you get the gifts, it's the reeling in, but the reality of it is to kind of keep you on the leash.
Yes, yeah. It's to
Never dated a narcissist before.
Yeah,
lies. Jesus.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy at all. It's
but you kind of have, unfortunately and sadly enough, like I feel like everything's an experience.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go. I mean, and I'll say, sadly fortunate enough that I did it in my 20s where I was growing and going,
Correct.
Manipulation was just going to happen inevitably.
Correct.
It's going to be inevitable because I didn't have anyone to tell me about, staying clear of that, learning that. So,
Yeah, a silent killer. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but you're right. I didn't see it at the time. I did not understand it at the time, but I'm grateful. And, I know that some women have suffered, and have had marriages and children with narcissists. I mean, there's like a whole support group for this stuff. You gotta Google it, hashtag that thing, and you'll be really surprised. And, honestly, I'm grateful now because I have an understanding of the why it needed to happen. But, as it was happening, I was like, what is this? Because it prompted me to take a look at my life and who I was and what I wanted as a woman. And what I did was I pushed stop. I just pushed stop on everything from work to just life to friendships. I just pushed stop, and I took a good look and inventory at everything from being a daughter, and being, what kind of friend was I, everything. And that's when I say, you know what? I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here before I tear the club up. Like I need to recalibrate, I was about to. So I ended up, I ended up just, looking at like my finances and saying, you know what? I am going to travel the world. I'm first going to start in India, and I'm going to acquire my yoga certification. I've always done yoga on and off. My grandmother taught me.
Wow.
My Granny taught me, and she still does yoga. She can stand on her head in the middle of any room, and she does it. Like, it's like phenomenal.
Love it.
So it had been a part of my life. And I think when I got to New York, especially on the scene, I kind of like forgot about it. Mm-hmm. And it's super trendy now and people are doing it. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, people were like, girl, what are you doing? And I think maybe that kind of affected like me actually practicing. So I went and acquired my yoga certification as well as learning about meditation, which saved my life because I didn't know something was wrong. I just like, okay, you got to keep going. And when I closed my eyes, I felt super unhappy and I had to really check into that. And I had to do what I always say do, even now to this day, breathe. Kenecia, are you breathing? Because that's all I need you to do right now. So it helped me with the pranayama and learning about just breathing life into yourself. Most of us are not breathing, like this, take a full breath.
I feel better already.
But
it's like tuning in. Just kidding.
It's a vibe. We're not breathing properly. And so that kind of led me to the journey, which led to all of these other amazing things that I am now embarking on. And they're all new, but I'm so excited for where it's going and really appreciate the universe.
I love that. Yeah. So tell me about your favorite places that you've traveled to.
Okay. So this is always really hard. I want to say, first of all, one of my favorite places in America is New Orleans, Louisiana. I say
the same thing, but I feel like it's because I love Essence Festival too. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Do I normally hang in New Orleans when it's not Essence Festival? And I have. And the one time I did, I was on like a fabulous date as well. So I was like, all right. I've never had to just like gone there and just kind of, but I love New Orleans.
Well, I love it any type of way you want to serve it to me. You know, I'll go on off season, but there's never nothing going on in New Orleans.
That's true. It's like number 2 for conventions or
something.
Yeah,
absolutely. What's number 1?
Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, New Orleans is just fantastic. The people, I have a very beautiful community there, and I'm so fortunate because we all went to college together. I went to college at Texas Southern University. So I met a lot of people from New Orleans and just kind of kept in touch. And I feel at home when I go there. On the international tip, Milan, Italy will always have a special place in my heart. I have friends there. They still check up on me using like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So that's going to always hold a really close place to my heart. Although it's still a city, it's not... and it's changing. If you've gone in the last 2-3 years, you'll see a lot of similarities to like, you know, us, to be quite honest.
How long did you stay in Milan?
A month.
Okay.
A month.
Have you ever stayed a place like really long? What's the longest you've ever kind of traveled to a destination? I
think my average is about a month.
Okay.
To places. That's not a vacation, because there's a difference between traveling and vacationing, of course.
Right.
You know, right. So when I'm traveling, I need to really be immersed deeply into the culture, into the people. I need to meet a friend. I need to go to like church, you know, cook a meal there, do laundry, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. But yeah, usually about a month. I think I may have stayed in like Tanzania a little longer than expected. But I was really comfortable at home there. I stay as long as the law can allow, honestly. You know, they want to get,
What was your least favorite travel? It may not be the destination, but like your least favorite travel experience has been?
I think only one thing, because, you know, every place has something to offer, and it's also you showing up with your energy too. So if you don't like it, you can check yourself. And I never want to put a damper on a country or a city based on my little old experience. But I do just one thing that stands out is when I went to, and I hate to say it, when I went to Nairobi, Kenya, and I went to this place called K1. Oh, I'm not gonna have to say it. I'm gonna put them on blast right fast. I went to K1. It was like my first night out, because I didn't like party a lot. It was my first night out. And so I was feeling it, you know, drinks coming in. They played a lot of like hip hop, you know, I was shaking the tail feather once again. And it was just a vibe. And I think I got too comfortable, and someone stole my wallet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember being so upset that I was in tears. Like, how would I come all the way to Africa and you want to steal my wallet? Right. And, you know, and then this one girl was like, they're not your people. They're not your people. And then that hurt even more. You know what I mean? But it was just one of those things where I normally wear a fanny pack. And I didn't, you know, I just felt like, oh, wow, you know, I can kind of like relax. It's like, you know, and I let my guard down, and it was a rookie mistake. And it was just so hurtful, because I'm like, why would you steal from me? I'm coming out here, you know, to see you spend money, you know, but at the same time, it can happen anywhere.
That can definitely happen.
It happens, in Harlem or Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to my hometown. But Fort Worth, y'all had a lot of I know right now. I'm like, this is like not the way I want us to show up on the map. I had a plan, but yeah, like that. God, you know, I get really upset about what's happening to Black people, and that's a whole like this will go a whole nother way. Right. But yeah, God, like that's
yeah.
Yeah.
So this Milan thing, it wasn't. It just so after Milan, right? Then you decided to make the strategy. Okay, so the reset button happened, and then you said, you know what? Yeah. Passports are pretty. I'm about to just journey.
Let's go. Yeah, let's pull it all together. Yeah, let's go. It was more about, like, you know, getting in touch with myself. And I said I would share what I could. And so, yeah, I hit up Asia. I was there like for 4 months. I mean, I did Bali. Bali was amazing.
I want to go to Bali,
and specifically,
so bad. Like Ubud. It's not even funny. Like it's been on my vision board. Like I'm just gonna keep putting it every year.
I first experienced Bali with Tanika Renee, who is a dear friend of mine, and we both didn't know what to expect, and it was just so beautiful. We took
another travel influencer.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, her Instagram.
Yeah,
is gorgeous.
I know. she's so bomb. And I met her on set too. So makeup artistry really kind of like played a big role in just my whole life. So yeah, I met her on set of, I believe it was like a coup. But anyway, with Rotimi, like it was a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really good. And so we experienced Ubud together, and it was so spiritual and so beautiful. I remember we went to the Holy Water Temple, and it was just nice because normally I was traveling by myself, and she actually met up with me. So if you go to Bali, go to Ubud and kind of like, you know, do your thing, take your pictures and all that, but just like really zen out, you know, eat some fresh fruits and get into the vibes of it. They're very spiritual people, very religious people. They put out like these incense and flowers and things like, you know, kind of almost every hour you see someone saying a prayer every hour, and they're very peaceful people.
So, I just have so many things going through my head because it's just, this is so interesting. The reset button, because it's so many things with that. Like, and people don't have the luxury. People have kids, husbands, dogs, cats, families that they're so tied to where they can't do this. But this reset is like, and I love how you said, I evaluated myself. Yeah. I evaluated my friendships. And I think me personally, I've been going through like a reset, but I don't want to disconnect with people. Right. So instead I try to manage like going out as much and to do maybe one or two. So normally I would be having drinks if I'm off on a Saturday night, but maybe I'll watch, you know, the kids or just things I can probably do to balance it out. But I know that reset is so important. And for you to just say like, I went to get to know thyself, you know, like
100%.
That's really important.
And I feel blessed. Like I'm not, you know, out here advising like mothers to like leave their families and their husbands in the minivan, like in neutral and skirt out. But I know that I'm blessed, and because of all the things I've learned, is why I want to share them with people. And why I created Venus RX, for example, because maybe you can't take that escape, but maybe you can close the bathroom door and have 15 minutes to yourself, have these beautiful soaps to connect with you, your mind, body, and your spirit in that moment. So everything is intentional and everything is like connected or vertically integrated, like Nipsey Hussle would say, you know, and that's important for me. I started to look at all of my passions. They're all aligned. They're all like, you know, one is after another. And so, you know, I'm fortunate to be able to create and keep other people in mind because I know everybody is not able.
Right. And something, I'm always on the fence of, you know, when you are doing this reset or when you are going through something, whether you need to kind of shut people out and then kind of come back out or like, you know, do some self-evaluation, but not shutting people out. Yeah. And it's such a Pisces thing. Yeah. You guys are like, y'all will go in a room for a week and be like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah,
and I'm
like, but
we ain't talking to you no more. We're calling you.
Oh, but yes, you are, because we're the best.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, as I'm a Sagittarius, as y'all
I love
know
you
already,
guys. Yes.
And Pisces, especially the women, you guys do not need to settling down / like rules, like y'all have to be in control of your destiny. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Where I'm like, you know, I'm a free spirit as well, but I'm always like, free spirit. Okay, I need to date after a day. Like, you know, we go together. Woo! All right, I've had a moment by myself.
I do that too, though. I do that too, you know. So love at first sight type thing.
Oh, my goodness. It's terrible.
Yeah, as a Pisces. Oh, my gosh. Shout out to all my Pisces. I love this. Yeah, we just swim in all type. You know, if you see a fish, it's like, are you going straight or left? They're not. They're just swimming. And that's kind of my philosophy on life. Just swim. Just don't stay still and you're going to get caught. You know, you're going to get reeled in. You don't know.
So it's going to go to my next question. Yeah. So I was telling the lovely Passport's pretty Kenecia that I had a roommate at one time and her mother was like, that's Cedar Bone. She never gonna settle down because she's always on the go, always going somewhere. She ain't never gonna get no man, never gonna get no, you know, corporate job because I've always, you know, I've been an entrepreneur for some years now. And she's like, how is she gonna settle down? She don't have a corporate job and, you know, and I guess a corporate man. I don't know. So
my coif is coming undone on that question.
So you're feeling the heat.
Feeling the heat on that one.
Because I want to know your perspective of what does settling down look like to you? And do you I'm about to kiss the mic. Do you want to settle down? And do you think that it's like possible?
Well, first out, shout out to the elders. We love when they put their 2 cents in. But let me give you some change on that. It's a different generation. For her,
you get change back from 2 cents.
You got to get the change back. It was different times for her. I mean, I do believe in tradition. I do believe in love. I do believe in partnerships and romance and all that stuff. But I don't believe in chasing it. I have had some men in my life who were interested, and they would say things to me like, well, when are you going to be still? Or, well, whenever you come back to Texas. And, all of these things that kind of like felt a little bit like control, in my opinion. That's been challenging. However, I will always and forever and forever and forever, ever choose me. Always. That does not mean that I don't want to be married or fall in love. Actually, I don't want to fall in love. I would like to be lifted in love. Okay, take me higher.
Lifted.
I had to close my eyes on that. What? I was like, woo, like lift me higher. I think it's possible. I see other men who travel and they go as well. And the funny thing is, I met a guy that, I ain't gonna say his name because he's gonna have a goddamn breakdown. But he was a photographer or is a photographer and had the capabilities of being freelance as well. And also kind of saying to me like, hey, how about we take time and we go and we travel? And I'm like, cool, that's a great idea. So there are some guys who are going to be about that life. But yeah, the traditional sense, people do work a 9 to 5. They have their 401k. They want to, climb the corporate ladder, and that's okay. That is your path. But as you know, we have choice. And again, I will always choose me, and that's just where it falls. And so even though it didn't work out with him, there's someone who's going to dream with you, somebody who's going to be able to go with you. I don't see myself sitting in a cul-de-sac somewhere in a 3-bedroom cookie cutter home, working a 9 to 5, seeing my kids 15 minutes a week. Like that doesn't, appeal to me. I would love to be a mother. I think I would be an amazing mother. However, if that's not my path, right, then it's just, I'm still going to be complete. I'm still going to be full of life. And I feel motherly already, I feel that way.
Because you had to reset.
Yeah, I did. I got it all together. Let me not say that. Tap. I didn't mean I got it all together. Rewind. I feel whole is what I really meant to say. Not that, I don't always have the answers, but yeah, people will try you and try to dictate your life. And it's 2019, really it's 2020 in my head. And so, live your life like you want. There's plenty of people who get married and they have all that. And then like 40 years of marriage, they're trying to get a divorce. Like, okay, what was the big ideal with that? So I think as long as you're checking in with yourself and you're happy and you know what you want, and it's not like beautiful, amazing men are busting through the door, and I'm like,
I was going to ask you.
Not you.
Are they not?
I mean, they just kind of like, they linger around. It's the little busted ones that be knocking and trying to like get in because, they think they ain't got nothing to lose.
Right.
I don't know. I think I'm a very specific type of woman, and I find myself to be simply complicated. And I think that my guy is going to be, ordained. He's going to show up like he's supposed to when he's supposed to. Because what's out here is very average to me and very cookie cutter to me. I don't want to bash the men. I love y'all, especially my brothers. I don't date outside my race. So, that's also something that people kind of will tell you, oh, like you got to broaden your horizon. Do you? I'm doing this. Okay. So, it's a delicate dance and a delicate balance. But like I said, check in with yourself. Are you happy? Okay. What's missing? What would you like to how would you like to accomplish this? One thing I learned, I wasn't really giving a lot of time to dating, even though I travel. I
was going to say you're traveling all the time.
But
so
it was
that's
like
next question.
Yeah, it was a point in time. I met guys while I was traveling, but it was a point in time when I wasn't. I was here grinding, And so I think, if you want that, you have to make time for it. And so what I did when I came to your rooftop schmazzy dazzy, okay, that was fun.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I felt the vibes. I had a good talk with myself, a good meditation session. I saged myself. I wrapped my head. I put on my favorite lipstick. I dressed in bright colors. I said, you know what? I'm going to be open to the universe. And I met like 3 guys that night. So you have to be intentional. Do you want it or not? Now, okay, no love connections, but you know, it's good to kind of go out there and see what's going on. I find that dating can be complicated in New York City. Well, it can be complicated anywhere. I'm not going to just pinpoint us anywhere. You know this, right? And then too, when you talk about, okay, what you're wanting in a partner, you know, people ask me, what's your type? You know, what's your type? Oh, you only date black men? Okay. What's your type? My type is happy. That's my type. A happy man. Oh my God. So sexy.
You know, we had Alicia Reese on the show and she says, what did she say to guys? Like, are you happy, but do you have joy in your life? I
said, I like that. I like that.
Do you have joy?
Yeah. Because that's a little another level. Shout out to her.
But what if you don't have joy? Yeah. So what if the woman doesn't have joy?
She got to get her joy. She got to get it. Can't come through him. He can add to it. She got to get her own joy.
Absolutely.
Period. I find that also when I'm dating and I'm more conscious and I'm more elevated than I have ever been in my life, I find that a lot of people are leading with their traumas. I'm not saying I don't have trauma. But people are leading.
Give me an example.
So one guy that I was seeing had a issue with intimacy that stemmed from his childhood traumas. And so though he was transparent about it, he wasn't really dealing with them and they affected the relationship. You know, I was aware of it and I understood it, but it still took over. He led with his trauma. And a lot of people are doing, I date men. So I say men, I'm sure women also lead with trauma, you know, and I'm sure I've led with it before as well, you know, being very guarded, you know, sometimes, but people are leading with their traumas. They're hiding their traumas under the bed, under the table, you know, in their wallets, you know, all kind of sneaky little creepy places for traumas. And you know, people are responsible for themselves. I can support you. I can cheer you on, but you are ultimately responsible for your own healing.
So you must have so many love stories though from traveling. Like I need to know. Your favorite. I mean, it don't have to be a sexcapade, but I mean, give me a romantic story from because it's just inevitable. Like you're going to have
a little fun.
There's the summer flings that are just always hilarious and fun, and then there's this travel. You bumped into. The man of your dreams. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a really cute story. So when I mentioned to you when I was in Nairobi and that full ass man stole my wallet because I saw him on camera and all that. It was the whole thing. Stole my wallet. I was having a great night, much like the night that I had on at your rooftop party, just like flowing and going. It was a vibe. And I met a guy. But once my wallet got stolen, I didn't give a damn about what he was talking about. Look, my Chase Sapphires up in that thing. I got my, you know, Charles. Oh, I shouldn't be giving him a plug. Never mind. But anyway, I had my life in that wallet, you know. And so through my panic, he like fought to make sure that, hey, like, come on, let me help you.
Those are the guys for me.
You know, and I was very, you
Show
know,
up, Superman.
I was so upset still. Like, I was just kind of like, no, I got this because that's what I got and that's what I do, you know? But he was like, you're in Africa. I live here. Let me help you. And so what I really thought was romantic and beautiful, and maybe, you know, my sense of romance is a little different, is that he took care of like me and a couple of friends for like the next 4 days until like my stuff came in. And I mean like cab rides, food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like we all went to his house and he had like, was gonna have a chef cook and we had like drinks and we watched like all of these Afrobeat videos that I had never seen at that point because it's still, you know, Afrobeats is like everything now. So I got to like learn about all these artists. And so it was like, he turned a moment that was really bad into something really, really positive, and he was fine. I think I posted him on my Facebook too, but like nothing happened with that. You know,
so do you keep in contact with him?
I don't keep in contact with him anymore. Kind of just fizzled. I mean, it was cute for what it was, but the greatest love story will always and forever be the one with myself. Always.
I was like,
listen, it will. And then too, you know, things, you don't have to hold on to everything. You don't have to like make this person be forever in your life. You can experience them, have them do something nice for you. You do something nice for them, and then you float on. Yeah.
So how are you doing in your career, your relationships, and your overall health? What, as of today, how do you feel about those things?
You know what? I feel so good about who I am as a woman and how I've grown, how I show up in the world. And as far as career, because all of these entities that I'm working on with the retreat, the Compass Retreat, with Venus RX, with writing my book, they're all new. So it's like starting over again. It's empowering and it's interesting, but it is hard as hell. It's not like makeup where I know what to do, how to do it, you know, where the clients are, what things are required of the industry. This is like a whole new process. So though it is going in the right direction, it is a slow crawl. And I'm using my gifts. I'm using every single gift that I have because much like we talked about the 9 to 5, it just is not for me. You know, it's not for me to work for someone to borrow my time. So I have to make good use of that so I can provide a stable income for myself and then grow it into an empire, you know, so I can open up my wellness center. So, you know, it's all like, you know, it's all a big plan, but the day to day, you know, as an entrepreneur or a creative, man, it can really mess with your mental. You know, you get a lot of no's. Yeah. Well, your ego gotta go.
You get a lot of no's when you are actually putting yourself out there.
Yep.
Because I remember I used to just get yeses all the time.
Yeah.
And it's because I wasn't exposed to 100 people. Who
were like,
no.
And no. You know what? In any language, anywhere in the world, no is no. Right. You know what I mean? So just kind of making sure, like, you know, checking on my ego. We all have egos, but like, you know, can't lead with your ego either. So just the newness of it all and kind of getting back. I got back to New York less than a year ago, like my second round. It's a little different, you know what I mean? And so just kind of like,
so travel. And
like, you know, New York is a great city,
you
but
probably can't eat some of the foods now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
the cheese is so
you know, it's so different. I can't. What did Diane Carroll say? She said
caviar.
She said the champagne was burnt, honey. Okay, it'd be burnt here. So yeah, it's hard to adjust the second time around, but it's a great city, and so I'm just gonna, you know, I'm sticking with it every day. I do a lot of yoga, meditation. I just check in with myself. Once you check in with yourself, you can do anything, you know?
Check in with yourself. How does that look for you?
It looks like sitting with yourself with no distractions. It's breathing. Okay. It's journaling. It's writing it down. It's even looking in the mirror. I was looking at a meme today and it said something about, you know, try to dance in the mirror for like 15 minutes or something a day. I thought that was really cute, but I look in the mirror every day and not just like put on my eyelashes or something. Like I really look at myself. I look at like how my skin is changing, you know what I mean? And I look at my eyes for the intensity of the passion, or I look for sadness. You know, I look at the, you know, the curl of my lip to see like, you know, are you really happy today? Cause we all go out and wear masks, you know? So like, okay, let me know how you feel. That's really important to me. And kind of like, you know, it's not going to be pretty. Healing is not pretty. Spirituality is not pretty. In fact, I don't even like for people to call me spiritual, because then they'll be the type that, oh, you spiritual? Oh, well, you just cuss such and such out or something like that. Not knowing you needed to be cussed out. Listen, don't use my spirit, because there's a cuss needed to be cussed. There's a curse. But I say I'm spiritual, you know, so, you know, and I'm from Texas, so it's exactly who I am. You know what I mean? I keep it real with myself, and I keep it real with people around me. I have a very beautiful circle of women. I'm so fortunate. Dre is one of them. Tanika's one of them that we talked about. But, you know, I have Danny Rivers Mitchell, the creator of Black Girls Travel Too. Wow. I have Siobhan Real Graham. Like, I have some strong, amazing women. I have my girl Tiffany, you know, who is in Arizona, a long life friend, Brandy. I just have Sundia. Like, I could go on and on, but my circle is beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so I'm able to receive that friendship because I give it to myself. I am my friend. I am my own friend. You know, I'll sit in the house all day with myself. You know, you said it before, Pisces will shut that door, you know, and that week I'm fellowshipping with myself. I'm pouring into myself.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then I'm able to be a good friend to you. I'm able to show up for you. I'm able to support you because I can do it for myself. I'm telling you, I'm all about self-love. Period.
So I was going to wrap that up, but my question is, and I always struggle with this, if you spend so much time with yourself, which it seems like you have a good balance of like, you have your friends and you have time by yourself, but I feel that sometimes people become socially awkward because they cannot handle being around other people. They can be around their friends and family, but it's so hard to date. And if they do find someone that they like, that person can't come into their house and their space because they are so particular about being alone in that time that they need by themselves that it's, it's like get to know thyself, but also if you want to have other people in your space, you can't be like, oh, don't put this here. Yeah. Oh, you put that pen there.
Girl.
Oh my goodness. And, so I always have this talk with people to say get to know yourself, but also be welcoming. There's many people who I know, they oh, I'm going to have a boyfriend. I'm like, oh, when? They're like, well, I have an empty drawer for him because he's about to be in my life.
Okay. Manifest. They manifesting. That's heavy. That's okay.
So yeah.
You know what? I say this. Take your time. You don't have to be in a rush to let anybody into any particular space. You owe no one nothing. However, I love that she created space. That means she has room for him. That's, I don't know how she's going to go about that. It's just day one, boom, I got a drawer for you because he might run. But, and
I got your drawer full of drawers for you, right?
That would be too much. I don't know. These days, these guys might like it. I don't know.
For real.
I don't know. But I say do everything at your own pace and at your own comfort level. If something in your intuition is not, able to be open, that's for a reason. We got to tap back into our intuition and understand that it's a very powerful tool. And for me, I don't let everybody in my house at all. What do you need to come over to my house for if I've only known you for 2 weeks or something like that? Let's go out. Let's explore things that you like to do. Help ease my anxiety about you. Help me put my guard down. I was reading something because I had to talk with my friends that are married, and she was just saying long story short, she's going to say she didn't say this, but I'm going to paraphrase. She's going to say you can be difficult. And I said, I am difficult. I am absolutely difficult. But it's clear of what things that I'm difficult about. I have boundaries. Okay. And once you break through, it's worth it. It's worth it. I'm not just ready. I'm not for everybody, And so there was a beautiful meme. I can't even think. I'm not going to even try. I'll show you afterwards. And you can, I'll put it somewhere on my IG or something. But it was beautiful. It was about, being patient with each other.
Right.
A lot of us have been through the trenches in this thing called love and relationships, and it started as kids, some people don't have their mothers. Some people's fathers weren't there. Mine wasn't. So, you think that doesn't affect you?
Absolutely.
So be patient. Don't think that you have access or you deserve access. Be patient. Go out, date. Let people meet your friends. Find out what their favorite color is. What, what are they up to? What makes them tick? Before you think about coming into their space, whether it's mental or physical. Be a friend. Prove yourself a friend.
Now that nailed it. Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah, you definitely have to do that. So let's play a game.
All right.
Let's play. So it's going back to what I said about you ain't never gonna get a man if. Why do I have to do that voice? You ain't never gonna get a man if.
You're right. Is that how she sounded?
Look,
I know.
So let's play. Okay, we're gonna do a 2 rounds of it.
All right.
You ain't never gonna get a man if
you don't love yourself. You already knew that was coming. Off the rip. If you don't love yourself, you cannot love him. He's gonna know it. It's gonna come out in a relationship. It's gonna be terrible. That's it.
You can never get a man
if you don't want one. If you don't want one, you don't want to make room for him. You don't want to make provisions for him. You don't want to include him. You don't want to spend time with him. You don't
let's
want
play
one.
a round of the myths of you ain't never gonna get a man if. So those are the ones that are those are facts. You never get a man if you don't make room for him. You're never gonna get a man if you don't love yourself.
Facts.
Now let's bust the myths because I'm pretty sure when people meet you, you show up with so much confidence. You have all this travel experience. You traveled the world. You made money. You have all these businesses.
Yeah.
The myths that probably you deal with. Okay, so you ain't never gonna get a man if
you don't be still. If you don't stay still. That's the big one. I mean, we both just experienced that you're not gonna get a man if you stay still.
And it's not true.
What? I'm a sitting duck now. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. I don't believe that that's true. I've heard amazing stories. Several, especially with social media, you can see people's life kind of develop. Some girls I've been following now for 5 years, and I'm like, wow, she's so strong and independent. She's traveling. She's starting businesses, and then I look, and one day he pops up on her feed with her. You know, if it can happen for her, it can happen for you, it can happen for me. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a myth. I think it's not, it's not like you're out here. I don't really know what people do when they do stuff they're not supposed to be doing because I don't be doing that. But like, it's not like you out here pussy popping on a handstand everywhere and every day and like, but I mean, there's nothing wrong. But you know what I mean? It's not like when they say be still, it's like, what do you assume I'm doing when I go to these places?
Right.
Or what do you assume I'm doing when I'm working? Like, do you think I'm some
like,
call girl?
On the Tinder to swipe.
Yeah. Like I got some sugar daddies going on. I mean, hello.
Well, I could, for myself, I know when I was just like actively dating and I just was like, first of all, it takes a toll on your body just for the sake of not sex, as that was.
I was like, what you been doing? Surfboard. Surfboard.
It takes a toll on your body because you're eating out all the time. It takes a toll on your body because you are constantly drinking and going for drinks. It takes a toll on your body from just being in an Uber or traveling or, this person lives here. Unless you date people in the same neighborhood, but like you're traveling to Harlem and the Bronx. It's like,
it's a whole thing.
It was just a lot. Sometimes I would forget what day it is. I'm like, Wednesday. Or like, we're going to go to this restaurant. And I can't be like, shit, I went there last. I'm really good at being like, I just ate there because I'm always out. But to be at a place where it's a date place and you just went there yesterday and the waiters are looking at you like, bitch, like, we saw you.
We saw you.
How much Philippe Chow you gonna have in a week? You know what I mean? So it just was like, it was a lot. So when I think about being still, I wasn't still because I was just like, okay, who's gonna fill this, this role? I want to, and that's the toxic thing that I was dealing with. But when I think of being still in that way of like knowing thyself, but or you just want to fill this role of this person and you're constantly like, okay, not next, doesn't have money.
Exact. Oh gosh.
What you think is a narcissist because maybe you're a narcissist. It's just so much to deal with.
Totally. I always find that men, I be getting in trouble, but I always find that the mistake that most men make and most women make in relationships, men think they can control us and women think we can change them. And I think that, if you're not aware of that, and you're just out here and you're moving too fast, then you could get caught up with the wrong person. But if you're aware of these things and you take time to get to know someone,
that's true.
Then you're in. A lot, it's Instagram. Everybody want Insta love, very quickly. And unfortunately, this is how you get Insta fucked.
Oh, it is. And it's so funny because, we were joking about love at first sight.
Yeah.
I just made the choice that I was like, I'm not doing love at first sight anymore.
Right.
And it feels so good.
Yeah. It's so cute.
God,
it's mad
so
cute. Yeah.
I love this story. Yeah. When I tell you, I have stories that I have not told you guys for days about like seeing a guy in my dreams and like literally like being, oh my gosh, the sexy XYZ that I fell in love with. Like, but those stories have always ended poorly or just ended abruptly. Where now I was like, I want to fall in love with someone's character.
Yeah.
I want to be, and getting extra sappy and like, I want that love that God provides for me.
Yeah.
That unconditional, like, you know what? You are a mess, but you know what?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. And because we're not looking for anyone perfect. That's no such thing. Perfect. You know what I mean? We ain't building a man out here yet. But you know what? I'm working on it. No, but you know what I mean?
On her next business endeavor, I can build you a man for $20.99.
Holla at me. Okay, that part. But people are going to have flaws. People are going to have traumas. It's just about who you want to do this dance called life with. That's really all it's about. So you have the choice, you have the choice, but again, choose you first.
I love it. Choose you.
Yeah.
That's our good. Where can we find you and your books?
Oh God, I'm working on it.
And the retreat is next year.
Next year.
So
I'll be able to.
The book, the soaps, are they available now?
Yes, they are. So yes, Instagram, go to Shop Venus RX, and then you come to my page. If you come to my page, then you can get everything. So I'm at Passport to Pretty, and that's Passport 2 Pretty.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you're out here just creating your own rules.
Yeah.
Making businesses.
Yeah.
just flourishing.
Yeah,
as I say.
loving myself, loving life, loving those who love me, loving my cute little niece Rose. Like, yeah. That's
Are you allowing space for the person to come in your life?
Yeah, there's room. There's room,
Sure.
but there are boundaries.
Like you feel like you're like, I got
there are
room,
boundaries,
but you're like, it's you gonna
yeah.
fit in this
You gotta.
little
What do you have to fit? What do they say in the Bible? You got to fit in the eye of a needle before you.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I ain't made that one up. Oh yeah, but yeah, like there's room. There's room. But I don't have any time for fuck shit and fuck boys. I just don't.
Know yourself.
Yeah, and there's boundaries. There's boundaries. I don't feel like I have my guard up. I feel like I'm totally open. I think whoever finds me will find a good thing, and it could be amazing. It could be beautiful. But I just don't. No more disasters.
Where are you going?
No more
to
shit
next?
shows. You know what? Actually, I'm going to New Mexico. I'm going to Santa Fe, and that's my first time there.
I went to Santa Fe. Before.
I need to tee off with you and figure out like what I can get into.
Well, I don't know if my story's not that interesting. All I know is that everything closed super early.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And it's a really sleepy town. It's beautiful and all the colors, but I looked up all these romantic things and was on a romantic excursion, but it was not romantic to us. We were like, everything's closed, like it's time to go.
But wait, it was just you and another person?
It was me and the love of my life at the time.
That should have been enough.
That was enough, but like we were doing like a road trip.
Okay.
And it wasn't as memorable.
So you couldn't get your snacks or something. Is that what happened? Like things were closing?
We were so ready to go because like nothing was open.
Because that's my idea, to be like out away with my love one day, not in the whole mix of everything, But
it wasn't,
maybe he wasn't the one. He
clearly wasn't the one. Just kidding. No, he was a great guy. He just was, we weren't the one for each other.
Yeah, say that.
It's
true. We'll clean it up. Yeah. Good luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to another Music Men in My Mental. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you.
Just sharing your journey, your experiences through travel, wellness, beauty.
Yes, it's been a vibe here.
Beating these faces.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Live your life.
So the beauty in and out and just sharing it with the world. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe on Music Men and My Mental. I am C. Devone, where we talk about all things your career, relationships, and overall health. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
Yes.